Hello everybody, it's Lazel here with another Magic the Gathering EDH deck tech. Today we are looking at Zur the Enchanter. He is a 4 mana 1/4 flying, and on attack you may search the library for an enchantment card with mana value 3 or less, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. You wanna bring out Zur as fast as possible, attack with him every turn, and bring out the enchantments that you need fitting to your current situation. If you want to step on the gas, you will find cards like All That Glitters, a 2 mana enchantment aura. An enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact and or enchantment you control. Steel of the Godhead, 3 mana enchantment. As long as enchanted creature is white, it gets +1/+1 and has lifelink. As long as enchanted creature is blue, it gets +1/+1 and is unblockable. Ethereal Armor, 1 mana enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each enchantment you control and has first strike. Double all of these enchantments with Ondo Spirit Dancer, 5 mana 3/3, and whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, you may create a token that's a copy of it. Do this only once each turn. Zur, Eternal Schema, is a great alternative win con, 3 mana 1/4 flying. Enchantment creatures you control have Death Touch, Lifelink, and Hexproof. For 2 mana, target non-aura enchantment you control becomes a creature in addition to its other types and has base power and toughness each equal to its mana value. Grim Guardian will slowly drain your opponents, 3 mana 1/4 with Constellation. When it or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life. Let's keep the board in check with cards like Grasp of Fate, 3 mana enchantment, and when it enters the battlefield, for each opponent, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent that player controls until Grasp of Fate leaves the battlefield. With a little bit more inbuilt protection is Seal from Existence, 3 mana enchantment and ward free. When Seal from Existence enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until Seal from Existence leaves the battlefield. Let's go for 2 Grasp of Fates. With Mirror Maid, 3 mana enchantment. You may have Mirror Maid enter the battlefield as a copy of any artifact or enchantment on the battlefield. This deck is great at drawing cards. Attack with Zur and find cards like Rhystic Study, 3 mana enchantment, and whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may draw a card unless that player pays 1. Find Phyrexian Arena, 3 mana enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. Play Hateful Eidolon, a 1 mana 1/2 lifelink, and whenever an enchanted creature dies, draw a card for each aura you control that was attached to it. Just as Ashiok's Reaper, a 4 mana 3/3, and whenever an enchantment you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. Combine these two with cards like Maya's Grasp, 2 mana enchantment aura. Enchanted creature gets -3/-3. Or Deadweight, 1 mana enchantment aura. Enchanted creature gets -2/-2. Let's protect yourself. Attack with Zur and find cards like Propaganda, 3 mana enchantment. Creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature they control that's attacking you. Ghostly Prison, 3 mana enchantment. Creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature they control that's attacking you. Slow Everybody Down, Eidolon of Rhetoric, 3 mana 1/4, and each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. Another really cool card is Cunning Rhetoric, 3 mana enchantment. Whenever an opponent attacks you and or 1 or more planeswalkers you control, exile the top card of that player's library. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled, and mana of any type can be spent to cast it. Let's talk about a few helpful creatures in this deck. Doomwake Giant, 5 mana 4/6 with Constellation. When it or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end of turn. Ajani's Chosen, 4 mana 3/3. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 white cat creature token. If that enchantment is an aura, you may attach it to the token. And Sun Titan, 6 mana 6/6 Vigilance. Whenever Sun Titan enters the battlefield or attacks, you may return target permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. You want to win more? You get it. Necropotence, 3 mana enchantment. Skip your draw step. Whenever you discard a card, exile that card from your graveyard. Pay 1 life, exile the top card of your library face down. Put that card into your hand at the beginning of your next end step. Attack with Zur, find Necropotence to the field, pay as much life as you want and draw a bunch of cards to find your win con. Black Market Connections, 3 mana enchantment. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, choose 1 or more. Create a treasure token, you lose 1 life. Draw a card, you lose 2 life. And create a free 2 colorless shapeshifter creature token with Changeling, you lose 3 life. These 2 cards will provide so much value that it will be very hard for your opponents to stop your value train. Alright guys, these were a few cards that I would play in Zur the Enchanter. Let me know down in the comments below which cards you would still add to the deck, which legendary creature I shall feature next, and then I would say, see you in the next one. Goodbye guys.